What's going on, everybody out there? This is the From a Fan's Perspective podcast, episode 3. We are back with another episode. This one's going to be a little shorter because we're going to come back this week with a more bigger episode, I guess I would say.
A little more in-depth.
Yeah, a little more in-depth. We're going to break down a few more things, but what we wanted to have for you guys today was we got some predictions for the card coming up this Saturday, which is, do you know the name?
UFC Vegas 35, I believe.
Okay, Vegas 35. What you got for me as the...
So...
And this is your boy, JB, here with my co-host.
Your boy, Mr. What's good?
Yeah, don't forget the names.
UFC Vegas 35, if I'm correct. The opener, it's actually a fire card. I'm actually excited for this one. It's been a minute since I've been excited for a fight night card. So, starting off, we got Mana Martinez versus Guido Sanetti. I don't know how to say that. Guido Sanetti. But I actually know the Guido Sanetti guy. I know that he's 41 and he's a lot smaller, and all of his losses are finishes. So every loss that he has, he's been finished. And Mana Martinez has like a 3 or 4 inch reach advantage on him, and is taller. So that one is, for me personally, it's obvious that Mana Martinez is gonna get the dub, and I think it's gonna be by first round submission because most of his wins are by first round first round stoppage. So
okay, I'm
gonna go with him. And then I know that's not really a fight that you're too interested in, but that's a bantamweight. That's 135. He don't like the little guys, man.
No, it's not that I don't like the little guys. It's when I first started watching UFC, I didn't watch a lot of the smaller guys. So it's just as I continued on, I'm starting to watch a lot more, but it's hard for me to know a lot of names.
And it's getting more exciting too with the smaller guys. At first, it wasn't.
Like if it wasn't like Dominic Cruz or TJ, you know, it wasn't too many names I really knew about.
All right, so the second fight on this card will be at featherweight. It's going to be Jamal Emmers versus Pat Sabatini, and I think that's going to be a banger. I think that's a pretty good fight. I was on the fence about it, but I think at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Jamal Emmers on this one because he has, I think, a win over Chikadze or a close decision, one of those two.
Okay.
So, who you got in that fight?
Let's see. I'm probably gonna take Emirates. I don't know. I got to go back and watch a few fights. I don't know. I'm gonna go back because I don't really know. I don't know the other guy he's fighting too much.
Pat Sabatini's actually pretty good too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back.
This is one of those fights where if you were to put some money on an underdog, I would pick him.
Okay.
I think he has a real good chance of winning this one because Jamal Emmers hasn't really put it together yet. And he kind of he's really good, but his record's like 18-5 or something like that, and he just hasn't found his rhythm. But I think he has a lot of potential. But it might be one of those fights where he just can't get it together.
Okay,
so we'll see.
We're definitely gonna be watching. Like I said, I'm gonna do a little bit more research because we do place bets on fights, and we'll be giving you guys out those picks and stuff. We lose a lot, but the good thing about losing, there's no really good thing about losing, but we don't lose every pick like last week's card. I actually got 5 right.
A lot of times it's
only lost on one. So
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Just
so we don't know. We don't know everything about MMA. I think Mr. knows a little bit more overall than I do, but at the same time, you know, we get focused and we watch a lot of fights and we'll start to research and we'll give you guys more information about that. But if I don't know something, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys and just tell you that I don't know at the time. Right. So we'll do a little bit. But I wanna right, facts. But what's the next fight for? And this is still this is all on.
These are all the prelims on
Is there early prelims or just
no,
prelims?
This just says preliminary card. So
okay.
The next fight is Dustin Jacoby versus Darren Stewart, and I actually like Dustin Jacoby a lot, and I don't like Darren Stewart, so I'm gonna go with Dustin Jacoby.
And I'm kind of the opposite. It's not that I don't like Dustin Jacoby, but I'm a Darren Stewart fan.
Tyron Woodley Stewart.
Yeah, I've been watching him, like, especially over COVID. I became a fan of his over COVID.
The way he looked against Eric Anders in his last 2 fights, I was disappointed, man.
But okay. He's fighting at what weight is he fighting at?
This one is at light heavyweight.
See, that's the one I don't like. I don't like him fighting.
And he's actually a small. Yeah, he's a small.
I don't like him fighting.
He's actually not even a big middleweight, if I'm being honest. So I'm kind of like,
yeah, because
I don't see him winning this.
I like Darren Stewart. Like I said, I became a fan over COVID. I wasn't watching too much of him before that. I knew of him, but I wasn't watching too much. But I became a fan then. So I want to see him do good. I like the way he fights, his stand up, his pressure. And we'll be watching this one and see. I'm gonna root for Darren the Dentist Stewart.
Darren Tyron Woodley Stewart. We're gonna see. The next fight is Smiling Sam Alvey versus Wellington Thurman. I do not know who Wellington Thurman is.
I know. Okay. I know I've seen him fight. I know I've seen Wellington Thurman fight, but Thurman, right? Thurman. I know. I gotta see his face. And newsflash, like right now, I don't really have good service where we're located, so we can't hop on the phones and the devices as quick as we want to kind of see things. But we'll get there. But
T-Mobile, get it together.
Yeah, AT&T too.
Get it together, you hear me?
But Sam Alvey, I'll jump to Sam Alvey. We were talking about this before we actually started. You said he's on a 6-fight losing streak.
Yeah, 6 fights and then one either a no contest or something that didn't count. One of those.
Now I seen his. I know I seen one of his fights last year.
Yeah.
Which was against I don't want to say the black guy with braids because I forgot his name.
Was it No, it wasn't. Was it Ryan Spann?
Yeah, Ryan Spann. So he looked decent in the fight against Ryan Spann.
Did.
I know Ryan Spann is kind of doing his thing right now.
He's also coming off a loss.
But he was winning before that, right?
Yeah.
So I thought he did some things good in that fight, but it sucks to be on a losing streak like this. And there's a few guys, like I said, we'll talk more later this week. I got more thoughts on, people on losing streaks and what the UFC is thinking about doing with certain guys and cutting them and things. But I think Sam Alvey is on that chopping block.
With 6 losses in a row, how are you not? I mean,
should have been.
The thing about his 6 losses though is, arguably a lot of those could have went his way, and a lot of those were exciting, and they were also really close. So it's like, how do you really, like, if you consider some of those robberies, how do you chop them after that? How do you not give them another chance? But then again, on the other side, I could see, like, well, you lost. A loss is a loss, just like a win is a win. So I don't know, man. I think he's gonna get this one because the breakdowns that I was watching, Thurman the stats just didn't look too good. But the thing is, with Smiling Sam Alvey, he keeps it close and he doesn't really get finishes like that. So it's like,
so do you think this
is one I'm gonna stay away from?
This is a fight that the UFC is kind of giving him as, this is you have to win. You should be
farewell.
Yeah, like this is like, hey, like you should win this fight, and if you don't, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool.
And then our featured prelim is Alessio Di Chirico versus Abdulrazak Alhassan, who is also on a losing streak. He just got Alessio Di Chirico is the guy who knocked out Joaquin Buckley. That's the guy that got that spinning back.
Okay.
So he just knocked out Joaquin Buckley with the head kick. And then Abdulrazak, I think that's the guy that got knocked out with the spinning. Isn't that the guy? No, that was Kasangana. He's the one who.
Is this the guy?
He just got knocked out. He got knocked out by Chaos Williams. That's who. Abdulrazak Alhassan got knocked out by Chaos Williams in like 8 seconds or something like that. And then Alessio Di Chirico knocked out Joaquin Buckley.
And this is his first fight since
that. Yeah,
okay,
these are their fights since that.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
Abdulrazak also had some legal issues, which I won't get into just because I don't like talking about the kind of stuff that he was involved with. But he hasn't looked good since then, and I think he's not gonna look good again. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Alessio Di Chirico to get the dub via KO.
I'm gonna go with the same thing because I cannot pronounce anybody's name, and I know I'm gonna butcher it if I try to say it by KO.
Alessio, that's it right there, man. But yeah,
Terrible with names.
That's the featured prelim.
I think that's gonna be a good fight, though. I think it's gonna be a
see.
good fight.
Plus,
like you
plus
said,
with him coming off a win over a big name like Joaquin Buckley.
See, I don't.
That's,
well, is Buckley
I wouldn't
really
say.
a big name?
See, I knew you was gonna say that. I wouldn't say he's a big name, but I do think that at that time he had so much momentum and so much hype around him because of that spinning knockout, that spinning back kick knockout.
Yeah.
And then it got derailed by this guy. And people still don't know who this guy is, but the few that do is more than what knew him before. So that's why I think that he has some momentum behind him, because in his brain, it's like, oh, yeah, I just derailed this hype train. Right. And now he's taking that into the fight with him. And there's nobody that can tell him different because, I mean, it's like when you get a touchdown on the field, but there's 8 other guys who got a touchdown too. It's like, no, I got a touchdown. You know, everybody did that, but you taking yours with you.
Okay, I got you. All right, so that was the prelim card. Yep. Semi decent breakdown, I guess, from us.
Right.
Go to YouTube and you probably get a more thorough breakdown from other folks now. But
that's fine.
Yeah, we're not here for all that. But
so then the start of the main card, and by the way, this is the tough finale. This I think,
and you've been watching.
I've been watching Tough, yeah, and it's actually a really good. But I think this is the first time that the coaches and the Tough contestants don't fight on the same card. They usually fight on the same card, but Volkanovski versus Ortega is somewhere down the line. I think it's in September, and this one is this weekend. So
yeah, I think that just makes. I think that's
weird. I think that's kind of weird though. Like I think that the Tough. The contestants should fight on the same card.
So do you think they should have took this off of this card and waited and put it on?
No, I think that Volk and Ortega should have fought
on this card.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not a pay-per-view. That's why I could see why they didn't.
I was gonna say yeah.
But whatever. The first fight on the main card is Mahmoud Muradov. That's his last name. Mahmoud Muradov versus Gerald Mearshart. And I actually like Gerald Mearshart. I know he gets a lot of hate because of what the back and forth with Khamzat and then getting knocked out real fast by Khamzat. But Gerald Mearshart, he
wanted to be in there with Khamzat.
No, he didn't. He looked scared.
Yeah.
But Gerald Mearshart is actually good. He actually has the most submissions in middleweight history right now. So if you really want to look at stats, Gerald Mearshart is up there. But I think that Mahmoud on a 14 or 15 fight win streak puts him away easily.
Yeah, I think they're feeding Gerald to the wolves right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
In my opinion.
Yep. He is coming off a win though, so it's not like he's on a losing streak or nothing. So, I mean, but I do. I mean, it does. You don't have to be on a losing streak to get cut. So, I think this is he's on the chopping block also. Yeah,
a lot of people on the chopping block coming up. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like right after the summer. It's like
right, yeah.
When the UFC starts like trying to
man, that's where you see
get the weight off.
You see who's right, shed a few pounds. But yeah, I got Mahmoud. I'm actually gonna put him in a couple of my.
I wonder what the odds. I wonder if he's gonna be like a minus 500.
Yeah, he's a big favorite. I know he's a big favorite, but I'm still not too familiar with like the betting odds and everything like that. But the second fight on the main card is also at middleweight. It is Andre Patrowski versus Michael Gilmour, and that is also from Tough. 2 guys from Tough. Those guys were in the semifinals, but they both ended up losing. And Michael Gilmour was an alternate. He basically didn't make the Ultimate Fighter show, but he stayed in Vegas. And then when somebody else dropped out of the tournament, he filled in for him, and then ended up getting choked out by Gilbert Urbina. And Andre Patrowski lost to Brian Battle, who's in the co-main in the finale. And I'm going to go with Andre just because all of Michael Gilmour's, he's 6-3 as a pro, and all of his 3 losses are by submission. And Andre is a D1 wrestler that has really, really good submissions. And he's been working with Ortega and getting a lot of work from who's Ortega's coach? Cesar Gracie. So I think that's going to benefit him, and I think he's going to sub Michael Gilmour, and I'm pretty confident in picking that pick. So yeah.
Okay.
And also Michael Gilmour got subbed by one of my coaches. Shout out to Ricky Miller.
The black belt.
Black belt. And then at welterweight, we got Kevin Lee versus Daniel Rodriguez, and that's a really interesting fight. That's one I'm really looking forward to.
Me too.
Daniel Rodriguez is a late sub. I forget who he's. Sean Brady. He's filling in for Sean Brady.
Yeah.
And Kevin Lee is taking his second fight at welterweight, but his first actual welterweight fight against a pretty big welterweight. So how do you see that going?
I think this is still a tough fight for Kevin Lee. I'm a Michigan guy, so I'm definitely rooting for Kevin Lee. I hope he can pull out the win. But this is not an easy fight in my opinion. D-Rod fights hard, man, and he fights like he's a big guy in my opinion.
But do you think he can stop the takedowns of Kevin Lee?
That's the question. I mean, in my opinion, yes and no. I think that there's going to be some get stuck.
It's either yes or no. It's either yes or no.
You see that political answer right there? I can run for mayor right now, man. I think early D-Rod's going to stop some takedowns. I think Kevin Lee's going to run in there, and I think Kevin Lee's going to try and press the takedown into a 3-round fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so into the third, I think that as they start to trade punches and people get tired, I think D-Rod's going to get a lot more tired than Kevin Lee. I think Kevin Lee's got great cardio. He's going to test D-Rod.
As long as he don't got Saf.
Yeah, for real. But I think eventually he'll get him to the ground. And I don't think this – I got this fight. I'm going to put money on it going the distance. I don't think that this fight is going to Kevin Lee is going to win the fight or I don't see any – TKOs or knockouts, but I think that Kevin Lee will do enough. Like I said, I think it might come down to the third round, and I think Kevin Lee will start to get those takedowns and kind of grind it out and get him tired. But D-Rod is a big guy, so we'll see how he handles those type of takedown defense when it comes to getting the underhooks and a guy actually leaning on you,
right?
And things like that actually people don't understand, like that weight matters in fights like that when it comes to,
it does,
putting a guy against the cage and things like that, because Kevin Lee doesn't really shoot from, just space. I think that he gets guys bagging up with his pressure, and then he'll shoot and then kind of get you against the cage, and then, he'll take you down. But we'll see. I'm rooting for Kevin Lee. I think it'll be an exciting fight. He's got that nice head kick KO on his belt, so we know that he can do any. I mean, he's got other highlights than that, but that's one of the most recent highlights.
Right. That was a clean knock. That was one of the cleanest knockouts ever.
I don't know how many leg kicks D-Rod's gonna throw, but
he's more of a boxer, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say when it comes to the hands though. I don't think Kevin Lee wants to play with him too long.
I don't think that's
in that department.
I think he's as much better with his hands as Kevin Lee is with the wrestling. I think that.
But I think Kevin Lee is more of a mixed martial artist.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and that's why I think he'll do enough to get the decision.
Right.
That's what I got. I got it. Kevin Lee by decision to say after saying all that.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you?
So I also think Kevin Lee's gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be a decision. I think it's gonna be by submission. Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna wear D-Rod out, and I think it's gonna be really easy to take him down. And the reason that I say that is just because there's actually more than just one reason, but one of the reasons is because D-Rod fought Mike Perry, and Mike Perry picked him up and slammed him. If Mike Perry can pick you up and slam you, imagine what Kevin Lee's gonna do to you. Just imagine what Kevin Lee's gonna do to you if Mike Perry can pick you up and slam you. Now,
Mike Perry's a pretty strong guy, man.
But look at Kevin Lee.
No. I'm just playing devil's advocate by saying I'm not trying to discredit Mike Perry.
Right.
I don't think there's a lot of guys that are picking D-Rod up and slamming the weight. No, I think Mike Perry's won a lot of fights being stronger than guys.
I'm just saying if Mike Perry can do it, Kevin Lee will do it even worse.
I agree. Okay.
But another reason that I'm picking Kevin Lee is because he did an interview with Ariel, and I didn't watch the entire thing, but I skimmed through it, and he was basically saying that he wants to stay at 170 and that he's planning on making a run here. And he was being real truthful, saying he thinks Usman is pound for pound number one, and yada yada. And I think to me that looks like that's like it seemed like a more mature Kevin Lee, whereas like he's owning up to certain losses and letting you know like, hey, this is what I'm doing and this is where I'm gonna be. It wasn't like oh, well, I'm going to just try this out at 170, and if I lose, then I'm going to 155. It was a Kevin Lee like, no, I'm at 170. I'm here to win this fight. And that's what I was looking for, was some type of confidence and something that told me, okay, he's here to stay, and he wants to win. And that's why I think Kevin Lee is going to win this fight and move up in the ranks.
Yeah, I definitely respect it, because right now 170 is not to be played with. I think it'll be a lot more conservative for him to just stay at 155, because he knows he can hit that top 5 right away at 155. I'm not saying he's gonna beat Oliveira. Right. I don't see that happening or anything, but he would definitely be a top 5 guy at 155.
Yeah.
So for him to jump to 170 and tell guys that like he's coming, I definitely respect that. He's still a young guy. He has a lot of potential. And, same thing with D-Rod. I mean, D-Rod's only been in the UFC a short time.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's still kind of up and coming. So this is a great fight for both guys.
And D-Rod's arguably undefeated. He has 2 losses. He's 15-2. He has the 2 losses that he lost were split decisions that a lot of people say he got robbed. So who knows?
He's a great fighter.
We could see D-Rod go in there and dominate. Who knows? But I got Kevin Lee on this one.
Yeah, I got Kevin Lee too. So shout out to Michigan 269.
Michiganders, stand up.
Better know it.
So the next fight is the bantamweight tough finale with Ricky Turcios versus Brady Houston, and that's the one fight that I'm really, really excited for, because I'm a big fan of Ricky Turcios. Okay. Because he's basically like a new age Tony Ferguson. Okay. That's who he reminds me of. Just the way he thinks and the way he talks, the way he carries himself is all so confident. And Brady is a 22 or 23-year-old kid that went in and dominated his way to the finals. And he has a really good ground game. He trains with Michael Chiesa, and he's a really good wrestler. But Ricky's also good on the ground. So I'm real excited to see this one. This is one that I'm not gonna be putting on a parlay, because I definitely don't. I'm not 100% confident in my pick, but I do think Ricky Turcios is gonna win, and I'm gonna say by a decision. But since you haven't been watching Tough,
yeah, it's a lot. This is the tough card, ain't it?
Yeah, this is.
I'm pretty quiet
card,
over here.
This one, yeah, but that's fine though.
I'll definitely be watching though. I'll definitely be watching.
Yeah, for sure. Then the next one is also the Tough from Tough, but it's the middleweight finale, and that one is it was supposed to be Brian Battle versus Tresean Gore, but Tresean Gore tore his MCL, so he won't be in. The guy that he beat in the semifinals, Gilbert Urbina, is gonna be filling in for him, and he destroyed Gilbert. And Gilbert's fighting a striker again, so I think the same thing is gonna happen. And this battle's longer. He's quick. He's real strong, and he has like really, really good striking. So I think Battle's gonna win by TKO. So I'm just. I think I might put that one on a parlay, but yeah, Gilbert didn't look real good against Tresean, so I think it's gonna be the same thing again. I really wish we could have got Gore versus Battle, because I think Gore was gonna win. And don't get offended by this, but I want to see more black people in the UFC, so I was really excited for Gore to come up, and hopefully UFC.
Why would that be? Why would somebody get offended?
Well, because it's the new age, it's 2021, and people just get butthurt. But I really want to see Gore in the UFC, and I actually think he's ready already. So I hope they give him a chance and let him at least take some lower level fight, or even get this match later down the line. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Battle just because Gore isn't in it, and Battle's also black. He's half black, but Gore is full black. But no, but with race aside, I actually think Gore is really good. Battle's really good too, but I just thought Gore was gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got the main event at featherweight. We got Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze. How do you see that one going?
That's kind of tricky for me. I like, God, I can't say his name. Chikadze.
Giga.
Yeah, Giga. I like Giga, but it's hard for me to count on Barboza with all the experience that he has.
Yeah.
Where do you see this fight? Where do you think this fight stays?
On the feet.
On the feet.
I don't think he's ever shot for a takedown.
Okay.
And the only people that Edson really loses to is people that shoot, right? So I'm kind of on the fence with this one too. I think I'm gonna stay away from it. But
yeah, this one's
I'm really excited to see it.
But I think, man, to be honest, Barboza might be coming up on the chopping block too.
No, I think they're pushing him pretty hard, man. He got
so?
2 wins in a row.
But you don't think he's already had his chance to, like? Do you feel like he's one of those guys that are like he's not going to become a gatekeeper?
His record's like 29 and 9 or something, 28 and 9. Yeah, that's
right.
a really good
I
record.
respect the record.
But no, I don't think so. I think he possibly will become a gatekeeper. I don't see him winning the title.
That's why I'm saying, like,
I don't think he's on the chopping block.
No. Okay. Not as far. Okay, so when I speak about the chopping block, I'm speaking about like a guy doesn't have to be like on a big losing streak or anything.
Right.
But once the UFC has kind of seen your potential and they see like where you get to, they give you the shot. Kind of like how Calvin Gastelum, you know, which we'll talk more about in the next pod tomorrow or Friday. But guys they've kind of seen their I don't want to say their full potential, but they've kind of seen where they think guys are gonna be at their best.
Yeah, where you
and they didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
So like, but they're still really good. So like, those guys either become gatekeepers or they get rid of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of saying. Like, you know, how soon are we gonna have that talk with Barboza? Because who hasn't Barboza fought?
It just depends on how this fight goes, man. If he loses real bad, then it's kind of like, okay, well, you know, like you said, like, who do we put you against? You fought all these guys. But 145 is a new weight class for him. So I think there is more options than we see. But it's going to be tough, especially because you can't just put him in there with some random like some lower level guy. You have to put him with the top guys.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know, man. It's going to be tough.
Do you think that they're going to be more urgent, like if he, at 145, if he loses, like, let's say 2 straight, and they're like, all right.
Yeah.
You think there's got that urgency?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to get to before we get up out of here?
No, that was it, man. But I'm real excited for this card. It's been a while since I've been excited for a fight night, especially. I just hope it lives up to it. There's been some. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that. Before. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was gonna say
most of these cards have been really good lately. Like, especially the first fights of the night have been really good lately. But I just haven't been excited for them before that. Up until the fights are actually happening. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this guy's fighting this guy, or this unknown's fighting this unknown, and now I'm actually like, okay, I know these guys. I want to see them fight. These are some good matchups. I don't know who's going to win. It's real good. I like this one. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Yep, so we'll be watching. Hopefully you watching too. We'll recap a little bit after the fights. But stay tuned this week. We're going to have a bigger breakdown on a lot more things going on in MMA and in UFC news. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe as always. I'm your boy